Hey you guys, it's your girl Ahriel Nari. So I know y'all know the age-old question, should I palm roll or should I interlock? And today we're gonna try to answer that question together. Now I know y'all know I want to hear from you. Go ahead, drop a comment. Let me know what you do to maintain your locks, if you palm roll or interlock, or if you do both. And also, what made you decide to do the technique that you do. First, let's get some definitions out the way. You know, we can't discuss something if we don't know what it is, right? Okay, so palm rolling is a technique used to maintain locks where you literally roll a lock in between your two palms and that twists the new growth at the root of the lock. Palm rolling is more commonly and affectionately known as retwisting. Interlocking is a method where the lock is pulled through the new growth and it's repeated until the lock is tightened all the way down to the scalp. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of it. Which one is better, palm rolling or interlocking? There's advantages and disadvantages to both techniques. On one hand, palm rolling is easy, like anyone can palm roll. As long as you can do this, you can palm roll. Another advantage of palm rolling is that it takes a shorter amount of time to do as compared to interlocking. Palm rolling really can take like 30 minutes to an hour if you have somebody who really knows what they're doing. Whereas interlocking can take like an hour or two depending on where you go. Now, I'm not saying that I palm roll in half an hour to an hour because I be taking mad breaks. But in theory, palm rolling does take a shorter amount of time than interlocking. One of the major disadvantages of palm rolling though is the unraveling. Unraveling is actually a very common occurrence when it comes to palm rolling, especially if you don't have like super coily, kinky hair. Palm rolling as a technique is kind of just like guiding and molding your hair into a lock. But your hair still has autonomy to do whatever it wants. If unraveling is a major problem for you, that ain't no problem. This is where interlocking can come in and save the day. With interlocking, there's not unraveling because the lock has already been woven into the new growth. That's one of the major advantages of interlocking. So interlocking is a good option for people who like need to wash their hair a lot. So for example, if you go to the gym a lot, or if you just like have a scalp condition where you need to wash your hair consistently, interlocking is definitely a technique you should strongly consider. Interlocking is also good for all hair textures. You know, I understand not everybody's been blessed with that healthy 4C hair. So if you just get to the point where you're like, man, my hair not even locking, then interlocking could definitely be a viable option for you. Another advantage of interlocking is that it lasts longer than palm rolling. Because unraveling isn't an issue, when you get your hair interlocked, you only have to get it maintained about once every 8 weeks. Or you can flex your new growth like I do. Another key difference between interlocking and palm rolling is the use of products. Buildup is a lock lover's worst nightmare, okay? With palm rolling, products are most commonly used. Generally, a locking gel is used, which causes the worst buildup. Like, oh my God. That's another story for another day though. Now, that's not to say that with palm rolling you have to use products. Like for me personally, I just use oil and water when I retwist, and that works fine for me. But if you like go to a loctician and say, yeah, hook me up with a retwist, palm rolling, they're generally going to just automatically use a locking gel unless you state otherwise. Now, with interlocking, products generally are not used because they don't have to be. Literally through the mechanics of the technique, the locks will just stay in place by themselves. Now, one of the major disadvantages of interlocking is that it is kind of easy to mess your locks up if it's not done correctly. There is a specific technique and pattern that has to be followed when you interlock your locks. And if that technique is not followed or a mistake is made, it can cause either holes in your locks or it can just cause thinning and breakage and just all bad stuff, which we don't want to happen. Okay, the last major difference between palm rolling and interlocking is literally the look that they give your locks. Palm rolled locks have more of a cylindrical look, whereas interlocked locks have more of like a rope look. Oh, that brings me to my other point. With interlocking your locks, that creates locks that are more compact and smaller in size. So if you're going for locks that are thicker in size, I would advise you to stick with palm rolling. So that brings us back to our original question, which was, should you interlock or palm roll? Honestly, it's a personal choice. I know this causes a lot of controversy in the lock community, but really it's to each his own, you know? You have to weigh the pros and the cons of each technique and decide what's best for you. So I know what you're thinking, Ahriel, what you do to maintain your locks? I decided to palm roll my locks. I tried interlocking like twice and I hated it, y'all. Like, it was not for me. I had a very specific picture of what kind of locks I wanted, and I wanted them to be cylindrical, one, and I wanted me some thick locks, you know? So after I got my hair interlocked, I immediately saw that it was not the look that I was going for. The funny thing is, you can still see where I got my hair interlocked. Matter of fact, let me show y'all. All right, I don't know if y'all can see that very well, and my camera is not focusing like I need it to, but like, see how it gets. Okay, so this is where I had it comb coiled, and here, right there, is where I had it interlocked. And as you can see, it gets ever so slightly smaller, but still, it's like I need all the thickness I can get, you know? A little thickness never hurt nobody. So yeah, just after that, I decided that palm rolling was what worked for me. Now, another thing I do want to note is that you can switch back and forth between palm rolling and interlocking. And if done correctly, you shouldn't be able to really see any difference between the two. So don't feel like if you start off with one technique that you just have to stick with that for the rest of your lock journey. That is not the case. Well, that's it for me today. I hope this video helped at least some in helping you decide whether you should palm roll or interlock. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so I know that you rock with me the same way I rock with you. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a week that's as beautiful as you are, and if you're watching this, I love you for being you. All right, I'll see you guys the next time. Peace.